Hello, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. I am Vinny Martinelli, and you're not. We're here today about quick text paste, and this is my explainer about that. So I got to tell you what quick text paste does. Then I'm going to show you what it does, and then I'm going to show you how you can make it do what you want to do. So, what in the world is quick text paste? Here's an example. You want to paste something into a document. So you go over to wherever you keep that file. Let's say it's a Google Doc, and you highlight what you want to copy, and then you hit the Control C because that's going to copy it and puts it in the computer's brain, but it's only the short-term memory. Then you go over to where you want to paste it. That could be another Google sheet, doc, or a sheet, or it could be social media. And you hit Control V, and that's going to paste it there. Whatever was in the memory is going to go on the proverbial paper, and that's it. Now, if you're real tech savvy, you can actually have a whole bunch of those things in the memory. I don't know if there's a limit. I think it's like a dozen or something. Then you got to remember which one of those it is. And when you turn your computer off or when you purge the short-term memory, it's all gone and you got to start all over again. With quick text paste, you can actually have permanent memory in your computer that's going to recall hundreds and even thousands of these things that you want to paste. These are things you might want to paste on a daily basis. So what in the world would you need that for? Well, again, I'm Vinny Martinelli, and my full name, I use my middle initial, and I added a suffix to my name, and that's a lot of letters to type. So that's why I started using quick text paste, and wow, what a great thing it is for me. It saves me tons and tons and tons of time. What can it do? Well, let's say you created this article for LinkedIn, or a newsletter article for LinkedIn, or a business announcement for MLM Gateway, or who knows, an invitation to a celebration on Facebook, whatever you want to do. And then you realize after, oh, wait a minute, I did this thing. Let's say you did a thing on solar energy. Well, I'm not an expert in solar energy, so I better disclose that. These are just my observations. I'm not really professional. Go talk to the professionals. They'll help you out. Right. A little while later, you said, wait a minute now. I was telling them about how they can save money on their electricity bill with solar. Or let's say you're doing vitamins and supplements. You're in the health and wellness business. Well, okay. And you told them about some experiences that you had with vitamins, and you told them about the specific product. Well, now you want to have a disclosure or a disclaimer that says that, I'm not really saying that these products are going to do what the government says they are because they weren't evaluated. So you have that. Oh, wait a minute. You just remembered, I was talking about the opportunity, and I was letting them know how happy I am with those results. But I better put an income disclosure statement letting everybody know that their results are going to be better or worse, or maybe the same as mine. Probably not. They're probably going to be either better or worse because their circumstances are different, right? No two people are likely to get the exact same results. So those are just some examples about how you might want to have a disclaimer, and that you just copy and paste it. So you do the same thing with your email, right? You have an email signature on all of your email campaigns, or even if you're only sending emails out individually yourself manually, you probably still have a signature, and it's going to say something like, in my case, I put looking forward because I'm always looking forward, right? But you could put, graciously or love or whatever you want to do, and then you put your name, then you put sometimes your phone number, your email address, whatever. And in this day and age, you're probably going to put your links to your social media pages, your YouTube, whatever it is that you have. So you're doing that anyway. So an email, that's probably automated for you. And if you're smart, you're going to have a disclosure or a disclaimer in your email that says, hey, if you're not the people that I've intended to send this to you, you got to stop reading it, trash it, and never tell anybody anything about it, right? That should be in your disclaimer. So that's another example. Well, let's say you're on social media and somebody says, hey, I know you're in that Live Good thing. How's that working out for you? Well, you might want to say, hey, it's working out great. If you join my team, I'll put you into this mailing list so you'll keep up to date on it. And then you do 2 steps the key, and you want to paste in the invitation, for instance, to that campaign. Or maybe it's going to be like in the case of Live Good. They've got, what, 5, 6 different things that they offer for us. One is for the general retail, one is for the opportunity, one's for the opportunity and the retail, and then they have one for the semaglutide diabetes funnel, and there's a bunch of them. And then you probably have your own funnels. Maybe you got 3 Live Good funnels. So you want to have those links handy, and you're probably not going to want to type them all out, so you put those into memory somewhere. Another example, let's say you do celebrations on LinkedIn, so you have the new jobs or the promotions and the work anniversaries and the birthdays and the educational accomplishments. Or you go to Facebook, they have the birthdays that you can do. And maybe you do some stuff manually or on some other social media platforms. So you want to send a message, and you want the message to be kind of pre-approved, and you don't want to have to type it out every time. But you want it to be unique. So you want the messages to be a little bit different. Those are some of the things you can do with QuickTextPaste. Now I'm going to go over and share my screen, and I'm going to show you how it actually works when you're doing it. So in a few seconds, you should be seeing a blank page. Now, you might be able to see my cursor here. When I do this with QuickTextPaste, it gets automatically redacted. I don't do that. I wouldn't know how to do that. I don't know how to undo that if there is a way. So you won't see what I'm doing with QuickTextPaste, but you will see the result of it. So for instance, let's say that I know that you just had a promotion. So I want to go over here, QuickTextPaste, and look, boom, like that. I pasted that message. Then I find out, I go to the next person and, oh, look at here, it's their birthday. So there we go. Boom, there's the birthday message. Then I go to the next person, turns out, well, they're having a work anniversary. So let me type message for them. So there's that work anniversary message. Now, a lot of us do our LinkedIn celebrations all at once. So we'll do all the birthdays, one birthday right after the next. You don't necessarily want those messages to all be the same. So you can have several variations of your birthday message. And for instance, you would just go to QuickTextPaste, and again, you can't see it here, but you can have dozens of these. I don't think you can see the cursor moving, but you'd have dozens of happy birthday messages. So if you recall, it was with my Genius leads. So what was the other name for it? Not recalling, but so for those of you who are familiar, you would feed in, let's say, 5 different opening statements, 5 different pieces of content for the message itself. You can actually have another piece of content in there, and you have 5 of those, and then maybe you have your signature line, which is a little bit different for everyone. And then the program would automatically just mix those up in any order, in a random order, and then send them out. So every time, it would do it automatically in this case. So it would send them out, and they would be a little bit different, but they would all be saying the same thing. And you know that they're compliant, for instance. You know that there's not going to be any claims you don't want. There's no spelling errors because you've vetted that all out. But they're different each time. You can do the same thing with QuickTextPaste, but it won't be automatic. You'll have to do it manually. So those are some advantages to the program. Now, I just showed you, I can't type that fast, right? So with 2 clicks of a button, I make a selection, boom, there's the content right there. So the content what's in here doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The point is that you can do that. So this all came about because we were talking about how Gloria McDonald is getting tons and tons of people commenting on her sourdough recipe posts. So she wanted to send everybody a message. She wants them to be unique and individual, and it just takes so much time. So we talked about, well, how can you do something like that? So I went into I actually went into Perplexity, and I created this prompt. And I said, well, I'd like to write some scripts for a friend. She makes sourdough, creates recipes, has a recipe book that she sells and or uses as a lead magnet. She posts videos of her creating sourdough, and offers classes on making sourdough. And she's trying to keep up with the thousands of social media comments, and it is thousands, by the way. Well, it's thousands of people seeing them, probably only hundreds of people who are sending comments. But she also does this on her videos, or she gets these comments on her videos and on her posts in other social media. So she'd like 5 versions. She didn't tell me that. I just made it up. She'd like 5 versions that need to be generic yet seemingly personalized. So here's what I came up with. And I fed in some of my ideas. And then, so these are the things I came out. I'm going to read them just in case it's difficult for you guys to see the screen here. So the first one, thanks so much for commenting on one of my favorite sourdough recipes. I love it when people have as much fun creating as they do devouring. LOL. The next one, I appreciate your comment on one of my favorite sourdough recipes. Let me know if you want me to send you my recipe book for free. The next one, I love your comment on my sourdough recipe. Hey, did you know I offer classes as well? Let me know if you want to join my next class. And the next one, oh, thanks for commenting on the sourdough recipe. I can send you my hints and pro tips, plus new recipes when I create them, all for free. Just respond, sign me up, and I'll add you to my weekly mailing list. Boom. So I gave it those 4, and then I asked her to come up with 4 more. So we're really not here to talk about the Chat GPT, or in this case, Perplexity, but just to give an example, now I load all these into QuickTextPaste, and you do them one at a time. And then when you're responding, in this case, when Gloria is responding, she can, so on the first one, she'll maybe use the first version, the next one, she'll use the next version. This becomes really important when she's responding within a post, because then everybody can see all of the responses, and she certainly doesn't want all of the responses to be identical each time. So if you're sending a direct message, like with birthdays and anniversaries on Facebook or LinkedIn, it's not critical that they're all different. It is for the, well, I don't say critical, but it is important for the algorithm, because if the algorithm sees that you're typing the same thing over and over and over, it's going to think that you might be some kind of a bot. Even if you change the first few words, you really need to change about 30% of what you're saying each time in order for the bot or for the algorithm to not think that you're a bot. So there's reasons why you want to change it and on all uses for it. But certainly, if you're posting or commenting within the same post, you want to have these all be different. But you put this data into QuickTextPaste, and you'll do that for all 8 of these. And then when you want to use them, they'll all be accessible, and you don't have to remember them, you don't have to type, you don't have to go and manually copy from a document, paste it into social media, copy from the document, paste it in social media. Because if you keep doing that, people are going to think that you're coming up with one of these new dances, and quite frankly, you probably don't have the rhythm. I know I don't. In any case, that's what QuickTextPaste can do for you. Now I'm going to show you, and I showed you how it does it, right? Now I'm going to show you how you can customize it. So I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to go right into QuickTextPaste if I can find it. And just to warn you, it is a DOS-like program, so it's kind of dry looking, and you can't do a whole lot of tricks with it. It's not customizable, it's not very colorful, but there it is. So this is just an example, and in this case, this is with the disclosures that I just showed you. So you can see here that this first column is going to be exactly what we want pasted. This next one tells you how you're going to get that accomplished. So you're going to hit the left Windows key, you're going to hold that down, and then you're going to hit the D key, and it will paste that message. Which message is this? Well, in this case, this is my disclosure for affiliations. The next one is my disclosure for the author, meaning me and or anybody that I co-authored with. The next one is the disclosures regarding compliance, and then you'll see copyright, expertise, general disclosure, image disclosure, income disclosure, and so on. So you can see I have all these different disclosures. So now what's going to happen is that when I paste these, I will select from any one of these, what is it, 15, something like that, in this case. Now, you'll see that I've got hundreds in here, hundreds of different ideas that I use, and I use most of them on a regular basis. So I showed you that this column is where the content is that is going to be pasted. This is how you get there, and this is what you're calling it. Down here, it's the same thing. This is what you're going to paste. If I can get my, yeah, this is a little funky. Again, it's DOS, so you can't use all the same fun keys that you could in normal docs and sheets and so forth. So this is what is going to be pasted. Down here now, in this little tiny bar, is what you're calling it. I don't know if you can see that down here, but over here it says disclosures, expertise. Well, this says disclosures, expertise. So same thing. Over here now, this is how you get there. So in this case, this is going to be the left Windows key, and then you're going to hold it down and use the, I don't know if you can see this, the D key. And now at this point, you will be adding these because this is not going to be pre-filled for you. Of course, it's going to be customized for you by you. I want to caution you when you get the program loaded, though, some of these are already being used. So Windows uses some of these key combinations. So for instance, if you want to use the control key instead of the Windows key, you can do that. I don't recommend it because Windows uses the control key combinations in a lot of their operating system. So I suggest to you, don't get fancy, just use the left Windows key. And I say the left Windows key because some of us have laptops that don't have the right window key, and or we're doing it on the phone, which I think is crazy. And I don't know how that works on the phone with the left and right Windows keys or whatever. So what I do is I have a truly ergonomic keyboard with all the stuff on. It's a beautiful keyboard. It's ancient and it works better than anything that I've ever had. In any case, it has the left and the right keys for everything. It also has a separate keypad and all that. When I want to work on my laptop and I don't have my ergonomic keyboard set up, then there is no right Windows key. So now I have to manually go into QuickTextPaste and find whatever, let's find one that's a right window key. So this is right Windows key A. So I have to click on it and then copy what's in here and then manually paste it, Control V, like we did in the old-fashioned days before QuickTextPaste. So I'm going to suggest just get used to using the left Windows key. Each key can have any number of, well, as you can see here with D, so with left Windows D. So it can have any number of these text areas added to it. So you can really hone in. And maybe, for instance, you want to set this up so you have all of your links for one opportunity in one place in QuickTextPaste. Or maybe you want to maybe do multiple opportunities, so you want to use a different key combination for all of the links for all of your opportunities. And again, with the case of LiveGood, you might have 6 of them just for LiveGood alone, never mind the 3. Maybe you have 3 funnels. And then maybe you're in Save Club, so you have more links for that. And maybe you're doing another opportunity and you want to have more links. So maybe you want to keep all your opportunities in one place, or maybe you want to keep all your funnel links in one place. However you want to customize it, that's up to you. I strongly suggest, though, that you have that hierarchy set up prior to even considering getting this program. It'll make your life so much easier. I didn't do that way. I didn't know about it. So mine is set up a little bit more funky than I would really like it to be. And because I have hundreds of these things in here, it's difficult to change, time consuming and tedious. So now let's say that you want to go in and you have, let's see if I can get my, well, I guess I'm not really going to show you, but this is my happy birthday generic message, and this is for LinkedIn primarily. Let's say you decide, you know what, I want that message, but I need it to be a little friendlier because I'm going to do this on Facebook, or I'm going to send this particular message to people that are in my close sphere of influence, but I want to wish you a happy birthday and not make it sound so clunky or professional. So you can come in here, you type whatever message you want here to change it to make it personal in this case. Then you go down here and you want to change the name of it. You probably just want to add the word personal or friendly or something like that. Then after you do that, you want to be very careful. And you want to make sure that it is still using the right keys. So in this case, we're using the right Windows key. And then we're using the letter U. And now you want to add this because you're making another spot in the memory. If you click replace, it will automatically delete what was there, and it'll save what you put there now as the new version for that particular key combination in that spot. And I'm not going to get into all the technical terms, but you can see all these things here, 114, 101, whatever. So if you want to add something new, then you use the add button. Another way you can use this is, let's say, well, you want to stay with LinkedIn, but you want to have 6 different versions of the happy birthday messages. Well, again, you can highlight all of this, delete it, type in or paste in the new message, and then come down here and make sure you click add and not replace. A great example for this, let's say that to make it like really personal, you can have 7 of these, but one of them would be for Sunday, one for Monday, one for Tuesday. So you can say happy Monday and happy birthday. That might catch somebody's attention, make it sound a little friendlier. And it's really kind of easy to do because that one day you're only going to use the messages for that day. So a lot of different things that you can do with it. So again, this section here is going to show you what exactly is being pasted, and you can open up the columns, which is a real fancy deal for this program. That message is also this message down here. This line in this column right here is what you're calling it. So in this case, this is happy birthday generic. This is happy birthday generic, and I put the date in there. So that's the date that I created it. That could be important in a year from now, because I don't want to send the same exact message to the same person on their same next birthday, right? I want to have that message be different. So that date is there to tell me, okay, I've got to change that message. I generally change it about once every 3 months anyway. So you want to name it something that's going to be easy for you to get to. So when you're doing this on the fly, boom, it's really easy to get to, and you can recognize it really quickly. And if you had, for instance, happy birthday generic, and then you put Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you can do it that way, or version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, etc. So that's, now again, to change the message, you just come right in here, wherever you want, change whatever you want, and then hit replace. That's going to change it. If you want to create a new one that's just like it, but a little bit different, you want to make your changes in here, and then you want to add it. So if you want to add a new line for QuickTextPaste, click the add button. It sounds kind of basic. I'm reiterating because it's so easy to not understand that or to make a mistake by doing it. So those are some of the things that you can do with QuickTextPaste. That's how you do those things with QuickTextPaste. And now for the money, because you know I'm making commission on this, right? Now, sorry, $0.00 to get the program. As far as I know, there's no affiliate program associated with it. So I charge you nothing for the video and charge you nothing for the program because it's not mine to charge. And there you go. So that's a real quick overhead kind of view on this. There's a previous video that tells you how to find it on the web, how to load it and make sure you hit the right button, and then what it looks like when you first get it, and then how to make those initial evaluations of it where you start playing around with the keys and finding out what's already programmed. And then now you know how to program what you want into it. And then a later video will have additional tips and trips. We'll try that again, tips and tricks. Some things you get a little bit fancy with it. You can create some folders and things like that. And it's, again, DOS based, so it's not quite as picture logical as what we're used to in most programs today. That's it, folks. So thanks again for joining me. Please make sure you like, comment, and share this. That's going to be very important for me. I really need you to do that. That'd be awfully great of you if you could do that for me. I really appreciate it. That's all for today. So thanks again, everybody. Best fortune to all of you. You guys have a great day. Take care.